Barbie, the highest-grossing film of 2023 and possibly the most financially successful film ever made by a woman, is helmed by Greta Gerwig. However, another picture that spoke directly to the reality of women and was also directed by a woman outperformed it at the Italian box office. Paola Cortellesi, a 50-year-old actress, writer, and singer, is currently releasing her song, There's Still Tomorrow, Ancora Domani, throughout Europe, including the UK. It made more money than Barbie and Oppenheimer combined last year when it became a craze in Italy. It was the biggest film of 2023 in the nation and the most commercially successful film ever directed by an Italian woman as of last month, grossing over £31.5 million in theatres. No one could ever have predicted the wave of participation and affection from audiences over this movie, she asserts. I've been a screenwriter for the past 10 years and an actress for almost 30 years. At 50, I made my feature debut. Additionally, it can only be advantageous that Barbie, a well-known movie that likewise explores the lives of women, shares the screen and box office. However, there's a reason There's Still Tomorrow may have resonated so strongly in Italy. Cortellesi's character Delia, the heroine, endures severe emotional and physical violence at the hands of her husband. In 1946, the year Italian women were granted the right to vote, Delia plays a poor housewife and mother residing in post-war Rome. Nonetheless, the narrative of the movie strikes a chord with modern Italian viewers. Recent police data indicates that in 2023, 120 women, or around one every 3 days, were murdered in Italy. According to the report, partners or ex-partners killed just over half of them. In 89% of the cases, the son was the one who killed a quarter of them. In November 2023, a few weeks after the release of There's Still Tomorrow, the problem of femicide flared in Italy. Giulia Cecchettin, a 22-year-old university student, was killed. Her ex-boyfriend, who is currently awaiting trial, is accused of killing her. This led to widespread protests. Thousands of people attended her funeral, and her passing led to significant demonstrations and demands for greater safety for women. One of Cortellesi's goals, she claims, is to investigate a cultural mindset that has been going on for millennia, in part through her film. The Italian government only declared crimes of passion illegal in 1981. In July 2023, judges in Rome made news across the world when they found a school caretaker not guilty of groping a 17-year-old schoolgirl since the sexual assault lasted for less than 10 seconds. In Italy, brief groping and the hashtag number 10secondi have been popular on TikTok and Instagram. The subject of the killing of women is unfortunately very, very topical, especially in Italy, Cortellesi says. However, femicide frequently marks the terrible conclusion of a story that didn't start that way. What is unknown is the background that leads to a horrific act of violence and a woman's death in Italy once every 72 hours. All we can surmise is a history of violence that frequently goes unreported to the police until it gets out of control. Although she claims not to have directly experienced it, the filmmaker claims that themes of violence against women have long been a part of her scriptwriting and acting career. I wanted to make a contemporary film set in the past in order to compare what's changed and what's stayed the same, she says. Although women may now enjoy certain protections and privileges, society nevertheless maintains a mindset that perverts love and treats it like a possession. We therefore require improved education. Even though There's Still Tomorrow tackles a serious issue like domestic abuse, is set in 1946, and was shot in black and white, a tribute to iconic Italian filmmakers of the era, the film nevertheless has an ironic sense of humor that the director feels helped the audience identify to the story. When I've written scripts in the past, I've used this same kind of language, she continues. It's not comedy in the traditional sense, rather, it's a comedic language used to discuss some extremely serious subjects. I think humor is a great way to introduce these subjects. You already know that, in the spirit of movie, people will ideally be moved to sympathize with and side with your heroine. English language trade magazine Screen Daily referred to Cortellesi's executes it with style, and described There's Still Tomorrow as a sentimental tale of suffering and self-sacrifice when it made its Italian premiere. The more exaggerated romantic moments are undercut by dry humor, Screen Daily critic Alan Hunter observed, adding that the domestic violence is sometimes choreographed into a grotesque and shocking dance. The movie's enduring popularity and financial success are attributed to word-of-mouth marketing in addition to the filmmaker's decision to tour the movie to small towns and cities and have in-depth Q&A sessions concurrently with the release. Cortellesi describes it as a great joy that men made about 45% of her Italian audience. This video is an invitation to share and walk together down the same route in life. It was never intended to be a critique of Italian males. I genuinely didn't want to turn off men from seeing the movie and give them the impression that I was criticizing them. I believe that males truly associated with the female characters because of the movie's tone and the way each character was portrayed. This was evident in the way men acted throughout the movie. A lot of men felt able to speak up in the Q&A sessions afterwards, and share their own stories, which I often found really moving. In the end, though, the director and actress refers to her 11-year-old daughter as the muse for the movie, calling it a mother-daughter love story. I started this entire effort because my daughter couldn't comprehend that there was a period of time when women's rights weren't protected by the law while I was reading her a book about them. Thus, it dawned on me that we have to educate the next generation about the fact that their rights aren't absolutes, she says. Achievement does not guarantee that it will remain in place forever. In a sense, I wanted to begin handing the reins down to the next generation.